I saw the Avengers Age of Ultron last night, and it was awesome! That's it, end of review. The review's over. Okay, well, not really. I'll tell you something about it. It's inevitable that I'm going to compare it to the first Avengers, so expect that. The story of this Avengers is Tony Stark creates an artificial intelligence because he wants to make a suit of armor around the world so it can protect everybody. That way, they don't have to fight, and blah blah blah, you've seen the trailers. The first thing I noticed about this movie is that it's a lot faster than the first Avengers. I was expecting them to get the team back together again, but they didn't do that. They just have like, here's the team right here. No explanation, just intro action sequence. And it's pretty great. Another thing that I wasn't really expecting because the trailers sort of leaned towards a different direction is just how funny this movie was. From the trailers, you would think this would be a darker Marvel movie, but actually I think it's probably the funniest one they've put out. There's a lot more quips and one-liners in this, which I don't mind because it's a comic book movie. They should have quips and one-liners. And it knows it's a comic book movie, because at one point it gets so ridiculous that Hawkeye actually acknowledges the ridiculousness of it all. But that's towards the end, so I won't spoil it for you. And speaking of Hawkeye, he's actually a lot more developed in this movie, since he's not mind-controlled for half the film. So we actually get to see what Hawkeye is really like. And the other characters I think still work really well together. And Ultron himself seems like what Tony would be if he was evil. Since Tony created him, he has a bit of his personality, I guess. He's not really a stone-cold machine, he also makes jokes at some points. Overall, the movie is just really, really fun. And I definitely want to see it again before it's out of theaters. Though I do want to rewatch it again alone, because seeing it with an audience is a bit of a different experience. Because you sort of get into the stuff that the audience is into. I think there were more moments in this movie than in the first Avengers where the audience clapped or cheered. And it seemed like the movie knew which moments those would be, because there was a bit of a silence after one scene in the movie because it kind of knew that the audience was going to cheer really loud at that. I'm not going to give it away, but once it happens, you're gonna know because the audience is going to cheer. And it's going to be the one scene they cheer at the loudest. Don't spoil it in the comments, but for those of you who have seen it already, you know what I'm talking about. I've been seeing people saying that you need to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to catch up with everything now, but I don't really think that's the case. I've been watching the first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I haven't gotten to the second season yet, and I wasn't really lost at all in the beginning. If anything, I would say you would probably need to watch Winter Soldier, and that's already a really good movie, so why not watch it? So those are my thoughts on the movie, without spoiling anything. I'll probably do some spoiler talk in the podcast next week, which if you haven't been watching the podcast, please give it a look because it's become really good with the past few episodes having Jim on. At least I think so. It's a lot of fun. So we'll do some spoiler talk at the beginning of the episode with Age of Ultron. Also, if you haven't seen them already, my friend Tom and I did a Marvel Madness thing over the past 2 weeks, where we went over the first 10 Marvel Studios films. So if you want to check those out, I have a playlist right here. And if you saw Age of Ultron, tell me what you thought in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye. I'd like to give thanks to all of my patrons this month. Your support really helps a lot, so thank you. And if you want to become a patron, click the Patreon annotation. And if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe. And if you want to check out some more Marvel stuff, check out the playlist. And as always, thank you for watching.